Hey, welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name is Jimmy.
I'm Tim.
I'm Rod.
And today we are looking at Star Trek Panic. This is a co-op game that plays one to six people in about 90 minutes. Now, this is a follow-up game to Castle Panic with the Star Trek theme thrown on it. And there's some differences from the original, so why don't we take a look and see what's in the box.
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is what you get in the box with Star Trek Panic. Rod, let's talk about the components.
So this game, I think, has some of the neatest components of any of the games that we've played. But you actually got the ship.
Yeah.
You got the shields, and they come off and they come on. And when you're attacked, you got these pieces that you add to it that show you damage. So you know that the ship's damaged. And even pieces go on to the nacelles here and so on, so they slide on. And so you know what areas you're damaged the whole time. It's got a nice board. It's very functional in how it works, and it's kind of a neat little system that they have for it. All the cards are nice and good-sized font, so all of us can read them just fine. The cards are a little thin, but I'm sure they'll hold up just fine. Everything else, on the cards, like what they use for the ships that are attacking you over there, are fine. They're nice and thick. These right here.
Oh yeah, those.
Those are nice and thick, and the pictures on them are pretty cool. But all in all, it's very good, and also has a nice way of packing it away. It's got this, insert that's fitted, which is really nice. And the artwork's fantastic, and of course the pictures are the pictures of the people from the original series. But so it's really, really neat.
That's awesome. All right, so Tim, tell us about the rules. How hard or easy is it to learn this game?
So the rule book is actually pretty well laid out with I love these huge pictures on everything. Every time they talk about something, they put a huge picture beside it, which really helps out. Of course, it helps out that their instruction booklet is massive.
It is massive, yeah.
It's like the oversized rule book. So then you never get confused. Everything is simple and laid out. They go step-by-step process of setting up and then playing the game. And then, of course, you got the turnover cards that help you. So it's always nice to have a reference card.
Yeah.
And then on the board is the specialty ships or tokens that come out of the bag. They're already listed on the board, so you don't have to go back into the rule book at any time to pull anything out. So
yeah. Yeah, I think the hardest part, I think, is just when you go into shock and you realize that you have to do some of these things every round. And then you realize how hard the game might be or how quickly it might get hard. But yeah, once you get that turn order, you're ready to go. So, okay, so let's talk about how you play Star Trek Panic to see if this is a game that you would like to buy. So at the beginning of the game, you can either pick a character card or randomly give out a character card. And then these character cards have a special ability. And they actually say in the rules that they encourage you every single round to use your ability. And so because the game's going to get hard really quick. So at the beginning of the turn, you're going to reveal a new mission card, or if you completed it. And then after that, then you're going to take your turn. And so you could trade a card with somebody. You can, and then you get these cards, right? So they call these the Enterprise cards. And so at the beginning of the game, depending on the number of people, you're going to have these cards in your hand. And these cards basically tell you where you can shoot your weapon on that round. So some of the cards do. So this particular card says that you can shoot in front in the close range. So if you had an enemy ship, which I'll get to that in a second, in the close range, it would take 1 point of damage, And then there's all kinds of other cards in the game. There's Tritanium and Dilithium, which could do some things like if you have lost a shield, you can bring a shield back, or if you have a portion of your ship that's been damaged, you can undamage it, things like that. And then they do some basic other things, or maybe if your shield has taken a hit, you can remove the hit, with just Tritanium or Dilithium. If your part of your ship has been shot, then you can remove that one shot. But basically, if any 2 shots get through the shield, and if you get shot twice in one location, then that part of the ship is damaged. If you ever get more than 3 parts of the ship that are damaged, then your ship can't actually move, which we'll talk about that in a second, but that would be really bad because you want to be able to maneuver your ship every single round. And then if all 6 parts of the ship have been destroyed, then you lose the game, right? So after you play all the cards that you can, then you're going to reach into the bag and check. Actually, I take that back. And then after you've used all your cards, any of these threats that are out on the board are going to move forward and then shoot once. So every time they move in and shoot, it's going to put a damage on one of these places. And like I said, if your shield takes 2 shots, now your the damage is going straight to your ship. And so the guys move in, and then the next thing you do is each person is going to draw 2 new tokens out of the bag. And so you'll draw a token, and then you'll roll the die and find out which sector it's going to be in. So this is in 5. It starts in the long range section, and then I got another one. He goes into 1, and depending on the token, sometimes it could say different things. So like this one I pulled out of the bag said all players discard 1 hit card of their choice. So not only can you pull ships out of the bag, but you're also going to be pulling special things out of the bag. You might pull a comet out that goes directly and does damage to your ship, destroys ships in the way, does all kinds of stuff, things like that. And so then that's how a round works, is basically you play your cards, the enemies come in, you draw new threats, and then you go. The only other thing that you can do is maneuver your ship. So you can rotate it 1 little notch, whatever you want to call that, or you can move it forward. And forward, in essence, just brings everything that's in front of you 1 sector closer. And so that's movement. All kinds of different ships that you can pull out. There's all different kinds of scenarios. So there's mission cards that come up where you might have a star base that you have to go to or a ship that you need to go rescue. And then the mission cards, which we didn't talk about those, but these can be absolutely brutal.
Without the mission cards, it does seem fairly simple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I guess the castle didn't have this thing moving in the Castle Panic version of this, but that's a pretty neat part of the game, because you have to actually travel someplace on some of those missions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the mission cards take it up like 10 notches. To me, that's at least what the ones that we were doing, like took the difficulty level pretty darn high.
Yeah, to me, it's like feast or famine. It's like either the game is crazy easy, this is too easy, and then you add in all these mission cards and it's way too hard. But they tell you in the book, they say if you keep losing, to just dial down the number of missions you have to complete. So instead of doing 5, maybe you do 4 or 3 or 2 or whatever. Or if 5 is too easy, then crank it up. Now we have to do 7 missions to win the game, something like that. All right, so at the end of our reviews, we like to do a simple 1-die rating. Should you buy it, play it, or hate it? So green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you definitely play it. And then red means you wouldn't buy it and you wouldn't play it because you hate it. So here we go. We're going to get, I'm torn. Yeah. And reveal. Oh, okay. White, and a green. I almost gave it a white. I almost did. So tell us why you gave it a white.
I gave it a white because of the drastic difference in just based on card luck, really, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because on a lot of the missions, if you roll the dice bad, then you're gonna have a bad turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not to mention, like you might have a whole handful of cards, like a bunch of cards, and then absolutely none of them can do anything.
Yeah.
And if you waste 1 turn in this game, then the whole game just changes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to get 2 more tokens on the board. And then you got all the guys that were already on there. And as soon as they get there and then the shields are down, then you got to wait till somebody can repair the shield. And if you don't have the right characters like Scotty or somebody that repair stuff a lot easier, then the game just tumbles into this spiral of difficulty.
Yeah, it seems so unfair at that point. It's like it's totally out of your control. Yeah. I gave it a green because the production value on this is just out of this world to me. So I love that. I love playing. I love the looks of it. It's a game that, to me, when you're playing it, like it gets attention. And so I'm glad that I have it. I don't think that I would sell this game. I think I would keep it. And so I was close to a white because I don't necessarily think I really enjoyed the gameplay a whole bunch. It kind of drug like that, and I hate it when a game just beats you down and there's nothing you can do about it. But overall, I still think that I would keep this game, and I'm glad.
All right, I gave it a white. So it was close to a green, actually. What held me back was that, so Jimmy owns it, so our playing group has it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to go out and buy it now because he has it. That's the reason, truly, I gave it a white. I mean, the production value is fantastic. I mean, I think the theme works perfectly with it.
It does work good.
I think it plays really well. I think the problems with the game are easily manipulated to, like they're saying, is maybe not so many missions, that type of thing that we can do to adjust it, which is fine. But there wasn't, the only negative I had was that it just seemed like it went from being, like you said, easy to extremely hard.
Crazy difficult.
Yeah, and somehow we had to find that middle part, and maybe it comes with the cards, maybe the cards should have more areas that you're able to shoot at and that type of things, that those are more frequent. But I think it works great with the theme,
The theme is crazy, is it not? Like, I mean, to think that this was Castle Panic, which was a great idea. All these people are coming at this castle, but I feel like this works so much better.
Yeah.
You know, because you can turn the ship, and then all these things are coming at you.
And I think it's got a lot of great things. And then they have some of them that move across, right? Some move sideways.
Right. Well, like it'll
The stealth
cloak.
ones. Yeah.
And the cloaking to me is brilliant because the guy cloaks on one round, and then you roll the die to figure out if he goes left, stays in the middle, or right, and he fires as soon as he reveals, which is totally thematic. So you don't know which way he's going to go, and then he appears and shoots on you. Like, I thought that was great.
Yeah, I think it's real. I mean, there's a lot of things I like about it. I want to play it again because I'm okay. We can make this work. We just have to do a little better. You know, we have to roll a little better. We have to get better cards. But I do want to play the game again. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
white tending to green.
White tending to green. All right, so that's our review of Star Trek Panic. Check it out online. We've got a website, BoardGameCloset.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those. And as always,
Support your local hobby shops.